Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are going to discuss about glycolysis. Okay? Glycolysis is defined as steps of reaction taking place to convert glucose to pyruvate. Glucose is getting converted to pyruvate through different steps involved. Okay, so let us see what are all the steps involved in the glycolysis. Okay, so glycolysis, to know about it, it takes place in the cytoplasm of a cell, and after glycolysis, whatever the product formed, that is the pyruvate, it will be entering into other cycles or other reactions. Okay, so to start with is the glucose. Glucose is converted to glucose 6-phosphate. Okay, glucose is getting converted to glucose 6-phosphate. Then this is getting converted to fructose 6-phosphate. Glucose 6-phosphate is converted to fructose 6-phosphate. From here, fructose 6-phosphate is converted to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Okay, and then this fructose 1,6-bisphosphate is undergoing a split reaction. That means from fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, two different products are produced. That is, first one is your dihydroxy acetone phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Okay, till here everything is happening single time, that is one time. But from here, that is from the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, whatever reactions are taking place, they will be occurring 2 times. Okay, so I am writing it here or I am continuing it here. That is the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is converted 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Okay, 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. From 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate, you are getting 3-phosphoglycerate. 3-phosphoglycerate. Then from 3-phosphoglycerate, you are getting 2-phosphoglycerate. And then from here, from the 2-phosphoglycerate, you are getting your PET, that is phosphoenol pyruvate. So from the 2-phosphoglycerate, you are getting PET, that is phosphoenol pyruvate. And then from here, your final product, that is pyruvate, is obtained. Okay, so it is starting from glucose and the byproduct you are getting is the pyruvate. Okay, and this is the reaction, and you have to remember all these steps in the same sequence. Okay, and one more thing that we have to remember here is where there is energy consumption and where there is energy production. That is energy in the sense here we are talking about ATP. Okay, so in which step energy is being produced and in which step energy is being consumed. Those we will see here. Okay, there are specific sites or specific places where ATP is being consumed and ATP is being produced. Okay, so here that is at your glucose to glucose 6-phosphate, there is the consumption of ATP to form ADP. Here the ATP is being utilized. And then here conversion of fructose 6-phosphate to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. There is utilization of ATP. Okay, so at these two places energy is being consumed, that is ATP is being utilized. Okay, at these two steps, that is conversion of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to 3-phosphoglycerate, there is production of ATP. From the ADP and inorganic phosphate, there is ATP produced. And again here, the last step, that is at the conversion of 2 to a pyruvate, there is ATP produced. Okay, and one more thing we have to remember here is from conversion of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate to 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate, there is production of NADH plus H plus. NADH plus H plus is produced at this step, that is conversion of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate to 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Okay, and we have to not forget that these reactions are occurring two times. Means there is one more time NADH plus H plus is produced, second time ATP is produced, and here also once again ATP is being produced. Okay, now here we will be discussing about energetics, which is again an important concept, that is what is the ATP production and what is the net ATP production. Okay, before going about the ATP production, we have to remember one concept here, that is your NADH plus, FADH plus and GTP. These you will be getting further in your citric acid cycle or maybe in your ETC. You have to remember it, that is NADH plus H plus contributes to, or it corresponds to 3 ATP. Or to be specific, 2.5 ATP. Okay, and FADH plus H plus corresponds to 2 ATP or 1.5 ATP, and GTP corresponds to 1 ATP. Okay, this concept you have to know. And why I am saying this here, because we will be using this concept. Okay, to know the ATP production and the net ATP production. Okay, so talking about the ATP production, so can I say here there are 2 ATPs produced. Okay, so 2, but I also said that this will occur 2 times. So can I say in another reaction also you will be getting ATP at these positions again. So I am multiplying these two ATP 2 times. That is because they are occurring 2 times. And as I said before, NADH plus H plus, it is also occurring 2 times along with these two. Again it is occurring. So because I said NADH plus H plus corresponds to 2.5 ATP. So 2.5 to 2, that is 4 plus 5, you will get 9. This is your ATP production. Coming to your net ATP production. Net ATP production. 9 is what you have got here. But you have to not forget that here you are losing 2 ATP. You are gaining 9 ATP and you are losing 2 ATP, so net gain will be your 7 ATP. So from your glycolysis, there is total 9 ATP produced, 2 ATP consumed, net ATP count remains as your 7. Okay, so these are all the steps that are involved in glycolysis. In my next video, we will discuss about what are the enzymes included in converting these steps further. It is that helping to convert glucose to glucose 6-phosphate or glucose 6-phosphate to fructose 6-phosphate. What are the enzymes included? We will see that in our next video. Thank you for watching.